Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jaimie. If you're catching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. This is my weekly Wednesday night Facebook Live tutorial that I'm doing. So I'm going to be interacting with people and whatnot, but you'll still be able to watch the cards being made. Below you'll find a link to my store as well as a link to my blog. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. Good evening, Karen. Karen, can you let me know, am I the right side up? I'm not like sideways or anything, am I? I'm having some technical difficulties. Hi, Michelle. Good evening. Am I the right side up, guys? I feel like I might not be. My phone is not cooperating. We'll leave it that way. Hi, Amy. Good evening. Yes. Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Hopefully everything works fine. My phone's doing this really funny thing. Okay, thank you. My phone's doing this really funny thing that every time I turn it on its side, which is how I do my live videos, it shuts off. So I'm really hoping it doesn't shut off at all. If it does, consider yourselves forewarned. Hi, Kim. Good evening. I'm really hoping my phone, I need to get it over somewhere for someone to look at it because it's really quite annoying. How is everyone tonight? Is everyone well and good? These are our cards, and I just realized I think I put the embellishments away. Oh dear. There they are. How is everyone? Everyone well? Hi, Terry. Good evening. Oh, you love my bow. Thank you, Karen. You know, I do the fork technique. It's the only way I can do a bow. I actually do it tonight. I've done it a couple times in other videos, but it literally is the only way I will do a bow. And if I don't use the fork technique, then I usually just do a knot. That's how I roll. Bows kind of intimidate me, and I'm kind of particular. I like them to look just right. Okay, so tonight you'll see we're making 3 cards. Every once in a while I'll do this where I kind of do like a simple version and then stepped up versions. And I think it's great to show you a variety of styles. Yes, I love this ribbon. It's gorgeous. Really stunning. We all have different styles. We all have different kind of aesthetics when it comes to card making or crafting in general. Some people are like to keep things super clean and crisp, such as in this card here. This card literally will take you like 5 minutes to create. It's kind of quick and easy, and you and I might know this is kind of on the simpler side, but you pop this in the mail, someone receives it, and they're gonna think it's just so gorgeous. This is also something, you know, if like you're kind of starting out and maybe you're just learning different techniques, and maybe your stash is still growing. Maybe you're kind of here when it comes to card making. And then we have kind of a like medium card here. I call this like bronze, silver, and gold. So like kind of like my silver card here that now uses the big shot. It has an embossing folder in the background and uses a few Stampin' blends. I like to think that maybe this person is kind of in a hurry and doesn't have time to color in the entire image here, but just enough to kind of give you like a little peek at coloring. Hi, Barbara. Good evening. How's everyone? And then I have my gold card here, which just kind of brings out all the bells and whistles. We have an embossing folder. I used the stitched framelit, this rectangle stitch framelits. I colored the whole thing. I used a beautiful ribbon and a few embellishments. So kind of a bronze, silver, and gold card for you tonight. And they're all beautiful, like I said, and everybody has, like I said, has their own aesthetic. So if this is kind of like your style and you really like that, then go for it. If you want to step it up a little bit, then this is kind of your card. And if you like to like show all the bells and whistles, then this one's for you. So let's just dive in. Don't get overwhelmed. I promise I'm not going to be here all night with you. I did do some like card magic kind of in preparation, so consider yourself, you don't have to sit here and watch me color all of that. You know what I forgot? What do I forget every single week? My bone folder. I forget every single week to pull it out. Okay, this is Petal Pink that we're starting off with. It is kind of my go-to color right now. If I'm sitting here and I'm like, what should I use? I'm pulling out Petal Pink. And this here is the Granny Apple Green. I think they pair well together. This is definitely bright. This is more on the muted side. And they just kind of coordinate nice. They kind of play off of each other. So this is the one we're going to start with here. And when I was trying to figure out what to use tonight, you know, I go with my favorite. I've used this a couple times already, and there are definitely tons of inspirations on Pinterest and whatnot, but I was just drawn to this stamp set. I can't get enough of it. So this is the Wonderful Romance stamp set. Hi, Mom. Yeah, isn't it beautiful, Amy? And it's from the 2019 Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. It'll be available through the end of May. So let's just get started. I'm using this big guy here. And where is it? This one here, the Thinking of You. Other great sentiments here, but I just love the Thinking of You. It can be used for any occasion, for anything. Thinking of you, happy birthday. Thinking of you, congratulations. You know, it really is. Oh, hi, Dad. It could be used for a variety of things. The black we're using, anywhere you see black in any of my cards today, it's going to be the Memento Black ink, if I forget to say so. This white guy here's a Whisper White piece is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then it's matted on the Granny Apple Green, which is just 1/8 of a size bigger. Anytime I go from like a big image like this and I need to ink it up with a Memento ink, I kind of do ink to stamp. I find I have a little bit more control. Oops. I know, I'm hoping they carry over too. Yes. I think it's been very successful. So they just might. We might get lucky, Karen. It's one of the new cling stamps, which I just am so pleased with. They cling to the block so nicely. You don't have to use the adhesive, although I have a little bit on here from previous stamps. Let's see here. I'm going to show you. Oops. Hold on. Oh. At the end, I'll show you how you take these off, because with the new cling stamps, you do want to be careful. I kind of slide my fingernail underneath the sticker there and then pull up. But you don't want to just go ripping. We were told that on stage that it'll actually rip the rubber part on the stamp. Hi, Teresa. Good evening. Oh, thanks for sharing. I so appreciate it. So appreciate it. Let's see here. And I have a feeling I'm going to run out of adhesive at some point. So bear with me if I have to swap it out. I can just feel it's getting tight. Okay, so this is... Hi, Sharon. Good evening. Thanks for watching. Going on again, the Granny Apple Green is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. Oh, let's see here. Let's stamp the sentiment. So this is, again, our first version. We're doing 3 versions of the same card, each one kind of stepped up and progressively using different techniques or whatever. I decided to stamp the sentiment in Granny Apple Green. I thought it just added a little bit more color. I'm not always going to stamp it in, actually this is the only card that stamps it in Granny Apple Green. But I felt like to do it in black was just a little too dark. So I have it mounted here for us, ready to go. And I've shared my tip with you before. I'm going to share it again because it really helps me when I'm using cling mount. Unlike the photopolymer, you can't see through the stamp, so it can be kind of hard to judge whether you're straight or not. So what I like to do is do a little tester on my grid paper ahead of time. I ink it up, and then I stamp it as if I think it would be straight, because sometimes our sticker is on a little bit, like a little to the left or a little to the right than the actual stamp is. So I do a little tester. Let's see, I'll do it over here. So in my head, that's straight on, according to the sticker. And if I were to look according to my grid paper, it is pretty straight on too. So I don't have to kind of compensate for that. I hope that makes sense. Oh, thanks, Sharon, for sharing. Sharon for sharing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. This guy's going to go in our lower hand corner here. Not too far in. Beautiful. I love when it's stamped straight. I always get a little nervous on live. I've made plenty of mistakes before where I've had to kind of cover it up. This is going to go on our petal pink. I told you this card literally would take about 5 minutes to make. It's super, super fast. I felt it needed just a little bit of something else, so I pulled out the Blossom Elements. Now, I'm kind of crazy, and I normally don't mix sweets. That's crazy, I know. And this flower is technically a rose, and these aren't roses. So I normally wouldn't use it, but I felt it was okay. I gave myself permission to do it tonight. So I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue on the back. Because even though you might be starting out or you like a simpler card, it's still nice to have a few embellishments to pull from and be able just to add a little bit more to your card. Okay, so there's our bronze card, or what I'm calling our bronze card. Okay, very simple, not much going on. 2 stamps, a few layering in the cardstock, and a little embellishment. This is very inexpensive to make and super quick. All the time I'm getting people that say, oh, I don't have time to craft, or oh, I don't know how you do it. I never could have time to do it. But I'm telling you, with a card like this, you could easily get it done in 5 minutes. And you could switch out the colors, and you get the point. Okay, moving on. So this is what I'm calling our silver card. I'm imagining that this person is a little bit more, has done this a little bit longer. They probably have a big shot by now, and maybe have learned some coloring techniques and that sort of thing. So I went ahead and embossed these already. I used the, what's it called? Lace Dynamic embossing folder. This is again also in the Occasions catalog. And it's one of those super thick, they call it the dynamic impressions folder. So you're gonna wanna spritz your paper ahead of time so it doesn't crack, and only use 1 plate. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, be sure and watch my card I did, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, the one with the little horse. I kind of went over the different, how to use the Big Shot. So what's really neat about this embossing folder, and I'm gonna try and catch the light. So you have like this negative side, which is gorgeous, and then you flip it over and you have this positive side, and both just give a different look and a different design. But I really like the negative, so that's what I'm gonna have kind of sticking out. And fold that down like that. Okay, again, that's the Lace Dynamic. What's neat about the Lace Dynamic, I don't know if you can see it, but depending on where you put the paper in the folder, you will get a different image. So I try to like put it almost completely centered here so that I would have kind of these lines on either side, even, like symmetric. But you could kind of offset them and have them just go over here, or have it running this way and have your lines going this way. So lots of options. And also, because you can use the negative and the positive, it really just stretches one embossing folder, but lots of possibilities, which is always, you get more for your money. Everybody wants that. Okie dokie. So this is this. Again, I'm using the same exact measurements of Whisper White and Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to stamp exactly the same way I stamped our floral image, exactly the same. Just taking my Memento ink, gonna ink that baby up like so. I do want to take a moment and remind you guys that I have free shipping going on right now. I have free shipping until next Tuesday. So definitely you're going to want to take advantage of that. There's a couple different ways I can go about doing that according to which you prefer. So hop on my blog, look at the different options there, and let me know what you'd like. Free shipping is great because it puts more money in your pocket so you can buy the goodies that you want. So I have it going on for a week, and it's the perfect timing because it's with any order of $50. So you will get free shipping. You get a free item of $8.50 from me of your choice. And you'll earn yourself a celebration item and earn some checks towards a free $30 order as well from me. So lots going on. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so for our silver card, I figured the person that's making this card probably doesn't have a ton of time. Who really does, honestly? So I just colored in the 3 flowers and kind of the leaves that were coming off of it. Sometimes an image like this, the big image, could kind of be a little overwhelming, but no one says that you have to color in the whole thing. So I considered even doing the spotlight technique, which is kind of fun. But don't feel that just because it's a big image you have to color it all in. The Stampin' blends are very forgiving and be perfect for a person that's just kind of starting out coloring. You have a lot of control of how the color goes on and the different highlighting that happens. So first I'm using Petal Pink, by the way. I started with just the light color, the light marker, and now I'm going in the center of each flower, kind of going out from the center with the dark Petal Pink. Like so. It's a little hard to see because the color Petal Pink is such a soft color to begin with. It's a little hard to see. Okay, next I'm going to use the light Granny Apple Green. What is the spotlight technique? Spotlight technique. Oh my goodness, that's such a tongue twister. Okay, I almost did it. Do I still have it? Oh, here. Okay, so I did play around. I thought maybe I would do it, but I didn't like how it came out, but I'll show you. So this is the spotlight technique. Oh my goodness. Spotlight technique. So what you do is you stamp your image just in black, a black ink, and then you come with usually they're circles, although I was trying to use rectangles here, and out of that image that you stamped you cut out like a hole, and then you only color in that hole, and then you layer one over the other, so you're spotlighting just a particular part. Ta-da, like that. I considered doing it. This was going to be, but I just didn't like how it came out. I didn't throw it away. I figured I'd throw it on something somewhere. Someone would like it. But for you guys, I just wasn't a huge fan. But that would be the spotlight technique. Does that make sense, Karen? I hope. Where'd my light one? Okay, this is light Granny Apple Green. And I like to start with the lighter color and just kind of put a base. Keep in mind when you're using the Stampin' blends, they blend when the ink is still wet on the cardstock, so you don't want to cover too much area at once. It does? Okay, good. I have a card that I did, it was one of my first ones, and I did it. I'm trying to think. I used the Petal Palette stamp set. If you want to see that, you can just go into my YouTube channel. It's one of my early ones, way back when I was still starting out, but I actually did it on camera, so if you have any questions you can go back then. I didn't know if anyone else watching knew what. Oh, you know what it is. Oh, I was surprised. Okay, thank you for having my back. Again, I'm starting off with the light Granny Apple Green. Try not to mix. And this card is coming together pretty quickly too. Granted, I did use the embossing folder ahead of time, but especially since we're not coloring in the whole image, it definitely saves time. And then I take the dark one and I just kind of add low lights. I don't know. I'm not an artist in this sense. Oh, you didn't? Oh, good. I'm glad you learned. I guess I should have used it tonight and show it off. Maybe next week I'll use it. Oops, I totally just went outside the lines there. Okay. That's what happens when I go fast. Okay, there we go. No one will notice, right? Our little secret. So, I'm going to mat this. Oops, don't lose that. Mat this one on the Granny. Oops, I just ran out. I told you I was going to. So I go on a scrapbooking retreat every November, and when someone runs out of adhesive, we actually celebrate it. And we're like, I'm out. And then we all say, another one bites the dust, because it means that you've been productive and you're getting lots done. So yay. Okay, there we go. That's a lot easier. Ooh, I cut that one the wrong size. Hold on, I gotta trim it. I don't know how I did that because I cut them both at the same, both Granny Apple Greens at the same time. Hold on, this one's a smidge shorter. 4.5. Hold on. I don't think I ever, I think there's never a video where there's some sort of a mistake. Keeping it real. Oh, now it's too wide. Oh my goodness, what in the world did I do? How wide is it? 3 1/8. So I guess this one isn't the same size. Oops. Hold on. Oh, look what I did. I trimmed it super. Oh, hold on. Now I gotta fix it. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is funny. There, that's a little better. I trimmed it too much on the one side. Hold on. So now this one is measuring, let's see here, 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. And there we go. Where's my card? Here we go. And then this one gets adhered over. Oh, you know what? Because this has so much texture in it, this embossing folder just gives it so much yummy texture. I'm actually going to use liquid glue. Because sometimes with the snail, it doesn't like get in all the grooves, and it has a tendency to kind of fall off, and we don't want that. We want it to stay on for a long, long, long time. Easy fix, right? Easy fix. That's how you fix something. You don't always have to start all over. You just kind of give it a little trim, and no one knows there was anything ever wrong with it. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little piece of petal pink here, and I gotta clean that because I have granny apple green on it, and I don't want that to mix. So, okay. I'm gonna stamp this one. This is my example. I'm gonna stamp this one in the Memento black. I thought about like heat embossing it, but I think the black really mirrors nicely off all the black in the floral image there. And because this one's a small stamp, I don't have to, I can put the stamp to ink pad. And whoo, that's narrow. I guess I should have cut an extra one in case I have an oops. Actually, that's not bad. We'll stick with that. And this time we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals, although I forgot to take those out. Where are they? There they are. Okay. Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, because even something as simple as just popping up the sentiment alone can really just elevate the card and make it look just a little fancier. Here, this is my example. Like that. Okay, so that's my silver card. Let's review. We have our bronze card and then our silver card. And next, we're going to work on the, where is it? Here it is, the gold card. So just lots going on here. I'm going to kind of walk you through. Let's see here. We're starting off the same way, petal pink cardstock, embossed using the Lace Dynamic and Textured Impressions embossing folder. Whew, I just called it an embossing folder. I don't say all that other stuff. It's quite a tongue twister. Okay, this time I used the rectangle stitched framelits. I don't know, it's kind of hard for the light. There you go. The light to catch it just so. I love these things. I use them. Go for the gold. That's awesome, Terry. I like that. I use these guys so much. I think I've used them 3 out of the past 4 weeks or something like that. I don't know exactly size-wise, but it's this guy here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 5th guy in. That's the one I use, so you know the sizing. And I just cut out a piece of Whisper White in him. And the Granny Apple Green is a... Oh, you know what I did? That's what I did. See, I did have it right. This was the Granny Apple Green for the other guy. See how he's a lot bigger? This one was supposed to go to the other card. Ah, that's what I did. See, my measurements were right. Should I leave them wide or should I trim them down? Now everything's off. What do you think I should do? Should I leave them wide like that? Or should I trim them down? You let me know. I'm going to stamp the same image. Actually, no, I'm not stamping the same image. Not on that. Well, I am, but not on that. What should I do? Looks fine with that one. Leave it wide? Okay. That's what I did. Oh my goodness. I knew something was wrong because I cut them both at the same time. Okay, so we have that, and I'm gonna stamp the floral image on a separate Whisper White. Oh well, leave it. Amy says I could trim it down if you think it's too wide. That's what happens when I have so much on my desk at once. Okay, I'm just inking it up in Whisper White. I mean in Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp it on a separate Whisper White. And then, so the Wonderful Romance stamp set comes with the wonderful floral framelits dies, which look like this. But, oh wait, hold on. You got to flip it over. There's also that gorgeousness going on. So I use this guy here, this big guy. He matches that. So I ran it through my Big Shot, cut it out, and colored it already. So I didn't have to do it on camera for you guys. You didn't have to sit here watching me color. There's a lot of green going on here. So what I did is I used just the light Granny Apple Green on the bigger leaves and just the dark Granny Apple Green on these smaller leaves. Because I wanted there to be kind of a distinction between the two and not just look like tons of green. So that's what I did. And then, because I can't get enough of them, what did I do with them? I just had them. I used Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere it to my rectangle. Because everything looks better with a dimensional. Oh, you think it looks great? Okay, we'll leave it as is. That's what I did though. I knew, see? I thought I was going crazy, but I wasn't. I'm using all regular dimensionals, and then I'm using a little guy for down here for where the stem is, just because when that ribbon goes on, it's nice to have something underneath it, so it's not just kind of flapping in the wind. A little oomph underneath. Okay. And then this one. And it's a tight fit, but he does fit. It's a little tight, but it's all good. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first? Hold on. Before I put that down, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Because if the sentiment is not straight, I can just cut another one of these guys easily without having to worry about the flower. So I already tested it, and I know the sentiment is pretty straight, so I just have to line it up. And hopefully it works. Yes, it does. Dimensionals are the best. I had a moment this afternoon where I thought I was almost running out. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? First world problems. I know, but when you use them a lot and you don't have them, but then I found a whole nother, bag of them. Bag? No. Envelope? However they come. There we go. Oops, come on up. This just gets matted on my oversized Granny Apple Green. That's funny. That's what happened. And then this gets adhered, and I'm going to use the liquid glue again because, again, it's going on that embossing folder that has so much texture. Oh, no, emergency. Well, that's the thing, Amy. Amy says, quick, put an order. I placed an order today, like literally, and then I was making this card, and I was like, oh, no, tell me I shouldn't have ordered dimensionals. But I found a spare one sitting around. No need to panic. Okay, that's that. Next, I made this bow, which Karen mentioned it earlier, but I am obsessed with this ribbon. I've used it a couple times, and it's Petal Pink Whisper White. I think it's called Variegated ribbon. And it's Whisper White, but just like with touches of Petal Pink along the edges. And it's super like delicate. I can't remember the actual type of ribbon that is, but so pretty. And I'm going to use a fork. You know I keep a fork in my craft drawer. Who keeps a fork in their craft drawer? Me. To make a fork bow. And I know many of you know how to do this, but I'm going to just, in case you don't, a little kind of refresher. So you take your ribbon and wrap it around so that the cut end is on the back, on the back. And so a friend that taught me this always and I do this in my head every time I do this bow, but she sings over the river. So you go over the first ribbon, right? So it goes over the river and then through the woods, and you're going to go right in the middle spot. I need you to inspire me to use that ribbon. My spool still has the seal in it. Amy, unacceptable. I want a card this week with this ribbon on it. How could you not have even opened it? And you like petal pink too. I'm shocked. I could use this. It's one of those things I'm like, Jaimie, you've already done enough with this ribbon. You need to stop. And then this guy here, so that one's in the back, and I just kind of grab it between my fingers. This guy goes through that same middle loop. And you can use a fork, or you can even use like a wide toothed comb. That works as well. Yes, you need to, I agree. We're all going to hold you accountable. You need to open that ribbon. I love it. It's so pretty. And it really does make just delicate, kind of really feminine bows. And then once you've done all that, you just tie a knot in the back, nice and tight. Pull it nice and tight, and then slip it off. Ta-da! I do like petal pink so much, just can't seem to find a way to use the ribbon. Well, I'm expecting a card next week, Amy. We'll all hold you accountable. Okay, so I do love really, really long tails, and I almost left it like that, like super long tails. But I figured I should probably give them a haircut, so I did trim them a little bit. That. And this one's going to go like that. Like so. Okay. And why is that not staying flat? Stay flat. I adhered him down with liquid glue, which takes a little while to dry. So first I'm going to pop on the rhinestones, which are, I just had them. What did I do with them? There they are. Look what I've done to my rhinestones. I don't even know why. I think I cut them for a class once. I have this big chunk cut out of it. Hi, Diane. What did you say here? What a cool way to use a bow. Oh, to make a bow. We'll have to try that. Yeah, it's super easy. It literally, if I make a bow and if it's linen thread or like baker's twine, I don't use it because that's just easy to do a quick bow. But any kind of like bigger, like thicker ribbon, that's the only way I'll make a bow. It's the truth. Okay, so I'm going to just use my rhinestones. And look at that. I have 3 small ones left. And there's 3 flowers. Perfectly accounted for. And I figured this person also probably has a nice stash of different embellishments that they have around and whatnot. Oh, you're trying that? No, oh, really? I assumed a lot of you guys already knew how to do it. Good. I'm glad that you learned something. Yes. If you have any questions, let me know. The thing that I always remember is like over the river and through the woods. I don't know, Christy. Oh, there she is. Christy, there you are. Hi, Christy. Thanks. You're the one that taught me how to do that. And you literally taught me that song. So every time I do a fork bow, I always sing over the river and through the woods. Oh, yay. Okay, so you all are going to try that bow and then post pictures I want to see, or email me pictures. I love it when you guys all like are making cards and you're being creative. It is so inspirational to me. I learned different things and just want to get it in my craft room myself. Okay, so I can't technically lift this up because that bow will fall off. I sometimes will use a glue dot, but I find even with glue dots, sometimes it doesn't hold the bow. The liquid glue really is the best. It just takes a little bit for it to dry. You just have to be patient. You need a larger fork. You have to get a wide toothed comb, like the combs like that are this big and they have the big teeth on them, because that one you can make huge bows. And I actually had a friend that did a double fork bow, which she taught me how, and I couldn't teach you or replicate it right now, but it was gorgeous. I'm sure there's videos out there. So you all go try that and tell me how to do it. Okay, so that's our, oh, the other thing is, you're gonna see, I don't know if you noticed a little difference, probably not because they're so small, but these guys on my example, I colored in Daffodil Delight. There was no yellow on the card, so afterwards I was like, ugh, I don't really like it. So on this guy, I just used the dark petal pink and colored in these little guys. I like the way it looked a little bit better. So 3 cards, all kind of inspired by the very first one. My bronze, my silver, and my gold card. So, you know, depending on what your aesthetic is, what you like, how much time you have, what you have available to you, all of these are possible. Go be inspired. So if you have any questions, certainly let me know. If you have any questions about any of the product I've used, definitely you're going to want to take advantage of my free shipping right now. Again, it's going on until next Tuesday. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm offering it a couple different ways. Check out my blog for all the details on how to take advantage of that. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you've watched and you haven't left a comment yet, do so, because at the end, right away, I rate all your names that the ladies that have made comments, or gentlemen that have made comments, and I pull out a name for someone to receive tonight's card. And you can certainly let me know which one of the 3 you would like. I'll just ask, and you can let me know bronze, silver, or gold, and I'll pop that in the mail for you. So thank you ladies so much for checking this out. I'll see you the same time next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy stamping!